Whether you operate one forklift or thousands, one location or hundreds, the new My Toyota customer portal can help you optimize your operation and material handling equipment. This one-stop, free-to-use platform is designed to help you take control of your information and make smarter decisions, all at the touch of a button. Register and access your data today at my.toyotaforklift.com. That's my.toyotaforklift.com.
With e-commerce off the charts, many small and growing warehouses are asking, how can I get ahead when my warehouse is barely keeping up? The answer is future-ready warehouse tech from Zebra Technologies. Warehouses can simplify and upgrade all processes, from automated inventory management to hands-free picking, with Zebra's tailored, scalable mobile solutions. They're simple and intuitive. There's never been a better time to upgrade for success with Zebra. How can your warehouse get ahead? The answer's in black and white. Get the answers at zebra.com/theanswer. That's zebra.com/theanswer. Businesses are retooling fulfillment operations, from warehouses to omnichannel, to meet new demand amid unprecedented labor shortages. 3PLs, retailers, B2B distributors, and others are turning to flexible fulfillment solutions like 6 River Systems to adapt and scale. 6 River Systems Fulfillment Execution System is an integrated solution that combines intelligent, cloud-based software and automation, including its autonomous mobile robot, AMR, Chuck. No costly or disruptive infrastructure changes, fast and easy associate training, and integrations with other warehouse execution solutions allow operations to meet labor challenges, increase efficiency, and enhance customer engagement. Go to www.6river.com to learn more. Go to www.6river.com to learn more. How do you create warehouse superheroes? The answer is simple. With visual voice scan solutions from ProCensus. With record demand and labor shortages, warehouses need more effective workers and lightning-fast onboarding. Visual voice scan solutions from ProCensus enable warehouse workers to achieve superhero performance with up to 20% improved productivity and up to 99% accuracy. Hands-free barcode scanners from ProGlove paired with wearable mobile computers is just the beginning. Improved mobile interfaces with reduced keystrokes, easy-to-read screens, custom keyboards, voice-enabled interface, and more can be realized with ease on the leading WMS platforms. Sound too good to be true? Let us show you with our one-of-a-kind virtual demo. Visit procensus.com to get started today. Again, that's procensus.com to get started.
The New Warehouse Podcast, hosted by Kevin Lawton, is your source for insights and ideas from the distribution, transportation, and logistics industry. A new episode every Monday morning brings you the latest from industry experts and thought leaders. And now, here's Kevin.
Hey, it's Kevin Lawton with the New Warehouse Podcast here at MODEX 2022. We are in the booth with some MHI Innovation Award finalists, actually. We have some royalty here, something like that, right? I've been on the podcast before. We have Ryan Clifford and Ryan Chesterfield from Phantom Auto, here to talk to us about Phantom Auto and hear a little bit about how the reception has been here at MODEX to Phantom Auto's offering, which is something that's pretty fairly new to the market, and I think, maybe potentially, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong here, but potentially the first time we've seen something like this at a show like this. So it's a pretty cool thing. So welcome to the booth, guys. How are you?
Thanks, Kevin. Good to be here. Good to be here face to face.
Yes, yeah. I know we recently talked virtually, so we finally get to connect in person. How about you, Ryan? The other Ryan, how you doing?
Day 3, the knees are finally warmed up. Got the elevator speech chiseled, and the customers seem to be responding well. So
okay, good. So tell us a little bit about Phantom Auto for those maybe who are not familiar, didn't hear the previous podcast. Give us a little brief overview.
Yes, so we do remote operation of material handling equipment.
Okay.
So, if you look around this building, most of the innovative products here are trying to find a way to reduce the dependency on people, right? Because people are in short supply. This is the big industry challenge. So how can we find technologies where you don't need as many people as you used to need?
Yeah.
And our approach is a little bit different.
Okay.
So the way we look at it is there actually are people available they're just not available within a 30-mile radius of your distribution center in Southern California or Nashville or Atlanta or Dallas. So what we do is we do remote operations where you can spin up a site, we call them digital drivers, in places where those people are available, and then deploy them where you need them. So perhaps, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Nevada, West Virginia, these are places where the labor participation rate is well below the national average. And we feel like that's a good opportunity to get good quality jobs in markets where those jobs are available.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a great thing because, you guys are certainly addressing something that I'm hearing over and over here at the show is the labor shortage and, being able to tackle that and how do we do that as an industry. And obviously, as you guys are tapping into these kind of underutilized markets in a sense, you're certainly giving an advantage to some companies who decide to go with your platform and able to tap into those remote workers. And, it's something that, I think if we think about, a few years ago, we think about someone who's working in a warehouse being a remote worker. How do you do that? You don't have the inventory and boxes at your house, right? So how can we make that possible? And you guys have come up with a way to do that, which is pretty incredible. And rightfully so. You've earned a nomination for the MHI finalist, right, as Innovation Award. So talk to us a little bit about that, and how does that feel, and what was the process to kind of get there?
I mean, I think it comes back to what we were saying here. So the product category, or the Innovation Award category that we're in, is the best new product.
Right.
And not to knock any of the other nominees, but I think the feedback that we're getting from people here at the show has been, what you're doing is different, right? This is actually a new category potentially versus many of the technologies here, just like we said, that are looking to reduce headcount. And so I think that my hope is that means that we actually are innovative and trying to do something entirely different.
Well, I think so.
Truly, I think that separates us from the rest. I think you said it well, that everybody here is looking for a way to reduce their dependency on the labor. And I think that's one of the first things that prospects will point out is, I'm not really seeing a productivity gain. Quickly have to say that this is not a productivity gain play. This is access to the productivity play. Right now, these jobs are empty. These trucks are sitting for 2-3 shifts. There's just not people to be there. So
productivity zero, basically.
And people are seeing that as the difference. This is something that's empowering people versus sort of automation, sort of the appearance that it goes the other way. It's really a tool. And that's what separates us from the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, it truly is, innovative, like I just said before. It's pretty remarkable, the technology. You're able to do this type of thing remotely. And, I know we talked about previously on the show about, the reaction time being such an important thing, and the way that you guys have been able to figure that out and do this in a safe way too, I think is pretty remarkable. So, I know how I feel about it. I think it's amazing technology and stuff, but I'm curious to hear, what has the reception been here at MODEX as attendees are, learning about you guys and coming by the booth, and, what kind of things are they saying? What kind of questions are they asking?
I'll say that the reception has been overwhelmingly positive, which is great. Questions that we get are, like you said, you touched on it, safety. How there's still an unmanned vehicle, even though there's a remote operator there, how are you managing this to be sure that it's as safe as it needs to be? And what we've done is we've effectively equipped it with the same kind of sensor system that you would put on an autonomous vehicle. Only because there's a human there, they have the ability, I'm going to say override, that's the wrong term, but where they can use human judgment to make the safety system accommodate the workflow that they're trying to accomplish. So, for example, for an AMR to drive into a trailer is very challenging because they have a safety field that's too wide. And for us, what we can do is we can derate the vehicle so the operator can put it into trailer mode. It slows the vehicle down, but it narrows the safety field so they're still able to accomplish that workflow that you need them to accomplish. And then we on the back end are able to account for any kind of a safety risk there. So that's one thing that we've gotten a lot of feedback on is, hey, you have to assure us that this is a safe solution. The other thing has been working with labor unions. So they're like, we love this idea, but if we start outsourcing our labor unions are going to freak out. And so we've actually had a really positive reception from labor unions.
Interesting.
And it's been because you can partner with your labor union to create digital drivers that are a part of the union workforce, and you're upskilling them and future-proofing those jobs, as opposed to, like we talked about, where the majority of the people in here are trying to eliminate those jobs.
Yeah. It's an interesting point about the union, actually. I didn't even think about that, and I guess in a sense it's something positive maybe for the union, because you're giving that person maybe a more comfortable environment to work in. And, the union's always negotiating for more benefits, right, and all those types of things. So that's a very interesting point. It's an interesting question someone raised there. So what has been maybe some of the most challenging or eye-opening questions or things that people have brought to the booth?
Well, I'm going to tee up Ryan Chesterfield here. I think one thing is where are you, Phantom Auto, on our automation journey? Right. We appreciate what you're doing, but are there ways that we can further optimize this operator by layering in bits of automation? And that's actually a pet project that Ryan Chesterfield he's really close to. So I'll let you kind of speak more to that.
I'll kind of start with one thing that I'm hearing a bunch from a couple different prospects here is they're asking, they see this and they see that they're hiring. They say, we're hiring folks from 7-Eleven and McDonald's. Right. And these people already have a tough time adapting to my warehouse environment. How the heck are they going to do this if they're remote? It seems. And then we start talking about the safety system. We start talking about augmented reality and bringing more information to that operator and discuss that most people entering the workforce, in their early 20s, are going to be more familiar with a web browser, a computer, a video game screen than they would be with a forklift. And I see that idea really bring them around when they talk about bringing people in that aren't forklift people, and putting them on a machine like this that has sort of preconditions where I don't want to say you can't mess up, but it's there to guide the operator, and I think that's also what's making us different. And then as far as the path to automation, this vehicle is already armed with all the sensors, hardware, a good chunk of the software we need to control the motion. It's a short step to write some software to make the vehicle go in a straight line and turn left and drop off. So certainly we see that is a huge value add. I do truly believe that the sort of the crawl, walk, run approach we talk about with the customers, being able to do some of the difficult things, being able to support this solution remotely will be the first step, and then it'll be an easy step to press a button and have it go across the warehouse and drop it off.
Very interesting. And I think it is it's an interesting point there about because we're getting creative in the sense we're trying to pull labor from everywhere, and like you said, we're pulling somebody out of 7-Eleven or McDonald's or something, and they've never worked in a warehouse and not familiar, and then you're going to throw them on a forklift that they're not even technically on, it's a little questionable, right? So, but the fact I think that you guys are thinking through that and thinking about how do you ensure that someone can easily come into that role, and you're not only tapping into unused like forklift operator labor in different parts of the country, but you're also tapping into just unused labor in general, and you're able to give them better skills, as you mentioned earlier, upskilling them and giving them a different type of path in their career. So you're kind of improving their lives as well. And I think the idea and the concept and obviously the execution that you guys are now doing is great, and I think it's very innovative, and rightfully so. It's nominated, and what else do you think is coming in the future for Phantom Auto? I mean, you guys are kind of from what I would say, you guys are like just getting started, just getting out there, right? So what are some of the future things that people can expect from Phantom Auto?
First and foremost right now is adding more vehicle types. Right. So right now we're on a 8,000 pound center rider electric pallet jack type of vehicle. Okay. And then we're coming out just as we speak with a stand-up counterbalance. All right. The next one will be a sit-down counterbalance, and then shortly after that will be the sit-down counterbalance with attachments, so clamps most notably. Ooh, okay. And then reach trucks. But we're trying to layer in more and more vehicle types so we can address more workflows. Another top priority is adding more OEM partners, so we can meet customers where they are. So like right now, our customers that are deploying are very much behind our value proposition of this remote operation like we're talking about.
Yeah.
And so they're willing to work with us even if we're not using their current OEM or even their current vehicle type,
Right.
because they want to start to validate and test this functionality out and start to build it culturally into the fabric of their business.
Yeah.
But more and more, we want our customers to be able to order their vehicles through the same channels that they currently do, and just spec them to be Phantom ready.
Right.
You know, and it arrives and it has all the Phantom equipment on it, and they didn't do anything differently than they currently do. As it is today, vehicles are coming through Phantom, and we're doing the upfitting and the QA and everything, and then sending them out to customers, which is great for now. But as we start to scale the business, that'll get harder and harder.
Yeah, very interesting. And, obviously a lot of potential partners here, I guess, at MODEX. So are you seeing any of those conversations going on, or you can't really say?
It's like we're getting sold to as much as we're selling sometimes.
Very good.
Kinds of people interested in, we've got private LTE providers that they need a toy to go. They need basically a use case for these networks, and so we're seeing all kinds of people see opportunity, with us and come to us and see how they can work together, which is exciting. Something I haven't experienced before.
Yeah, it's a good position to be in. I'm sure being pulled in both directions, right? It's very good. So very interesting stuff from you guys, Ryan at Phantom Auto, and I want to wish you luck on the award, and I think it's deserved. We were talking about just getting to the finalist nomination as well. It's certainly a huge achievement, and we'll see what happens, and hopefully we can make the announcement here on the podcast as well that you have won. And we are a week out from MODEX, from the end of MODEX, actually. We're Thursday after MODEX. And so it's been a week since the craziness and all the people attended. 37,000 people, I think, attended MODEX, which is pretty incredible considering all the things that have been going on in the last 2 years. So I wanted to reconnect with Ryan Clifford of Phantom Auto, because the last time we spoke at MODEX was about 2 hours before the Innovation Awards were announced. And congratulations to them, as when we talked, they were just saying that they were nominated, but they actually ended up winning. So Ryan, tell us about the win, and how did it feel? How is it to feel that you guys are maybe validated in the industry now? What does it feel like?
It feels incredible. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it or downplay it or be ultra humble. It feels amazing. And I think the biggest thing, we were hearing it all week leading up to the event. I believe we spoke to it when we were talking last week in person. Right. But just the validation. When I came out of the AMR industry over to Phantom, most of my colleagues and friends that had moved on to other similar companies thought it was nuts. Yeah. They were like, hey, look, where's the ROI if you're not just eliminating headcount? So to get the feedback that we were capturing all week from attendees at the booth and people coming and telling us, that there was so much buzz about Phantom, and then to win the Innovation Award for the best new product just was really the cherry on top.
Yeah, and I think it's well deserved. I mean, I think the interesting thing about Phantom is that you're looking at addressing these labor issues in a totally different way than like everybody else seems to be looking at it. So it's very interesting. So you said there was a lot of great interest from the show. So I'm curious, what are some of the biggest takeaways from what you got from talking to attendees and now, talking to people on Thursday, I guess, after you guys won the award as well?
Yeah, I mean, the follow-up is unbelievable. I've been doing shows like this for my whole career, and this is by far the best one that I've ever had. So that's been great. We definitely filled the funnel with a whole bunch of very high quality leads and opportunities and companies that are interested. And even those that we've been talking with for several months now that just got to see it and feel it in person was a total game changer. Just, it's one thing to understand the concept, and it's another thing to really going to get your hands on it. Yeah. So that, I think, really accelerated things. We're to the point now where we're very nearly sold through the end of this year and starting to pre-order for next year. Wow. Which is great for the business. And then the other thing that we've only just begun talking about is our ability. We're building out the capability for Phantom to provide the operators as well. So you could just have a fully turnkey solution where you come to Phantom, we help you procure the vehicles that are Phantom enabled. And then we're also providing you with as many shifts as you need to operate those vehicles and take that totally out of our customers' hands. And we really started socializing that there at MODEX and got a great response on that as well.
Yeah. I think that's a great component to build on too as well. I mean, I think in our initial podcast conversation we had, that was something I asked about, and you guys kind of seem borderline whether you're going to do that or not. But I think offering that turnkey solution is certainly something that I think is going to be really attractive to a lot of potential customers or existing customers too. You know, being able to say like, you know, I need 15 forklift drivers, and you guys are like, okay, you know, here we go. 15 forklift drivers, they're ready to go. I think that's a great thing, and it gives that flexibility too, which I think we've talked about before. So really interesting stuff. And you know, what can people, I guess, expect now going into the next year? You guys are the winners. You gotta top that. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, we already have pretty big plans for ProMat.
Okay.
And I think, you know, this year we were able to kind of get away with being the, you know, to use the March Madness analogy, be the St. Peter's of this event.
Go Peacocks,
you know?
Yeah.
There you have it, right? So we had that ability and that advantage of doing that this time, where we were kind of an underdog story. And next time we'll come with a lot more. So we'll be doing live demos where there's operators there at the booth that are running vehicles at multiple different sites across the country.
Yeah.
And then we'll also be far more deployed. You know, right now we're still in pretty early deployments with our customers that we have in our queue. And by that point, we'll have months of operating data and testimonials and experience, not just in the early stages, but in kind of the ongoing stages and how that looks for our customers at that point. So we'll definitely, it'll be a different feel, less of the, you know, the small booth in the back of the building like we were this year, and hopefully more front and center and on people's minds. But we're looking forward to it though.
All right, great. And we're looking forward to seeing all the things that Phantom Auto does in the next year, and we'll definitely be looking forward to those demos at ProMat. I'm really excited to see the demo and be able to see, you know, the platform fully operational and underway, and really see how that works. And the critical thing, I think, the reaction time too that you guys are known for, and that you've been able to create, I think is a great thing. So Ryan, congratulations to you and the Phantom Auto team on winning the award. I think it's a great thing, and if people are interested to get in touch with the award winners, how can they do that?
Yeah, the best way is either through LinkedIn or through our website, phantomauto.com. And Kevin, I appreciate, you know, you were on to Phantom before a lot of people were. So I appreciate, you know, you helping us get the word out early in our life cycle. And I'll tell you, at ProMat, we're getting you behind the wheel. Guaranteed, you're getting behind the wheel at ProMat. Okay. And driving vehicles remotely, wherever they may be.
Okay, I would love to do that, and I will caution the listeners to look out when I get behind the wheel. So. All right, so Ryan, great to reconnect with you and hear about the win, and congratulations once again. So thanks for coming on the show, and we'll put more information about Phantom Auto at thenewwarehouse.com as well.
You've been listening to the New Warehouse Podcast with Kevin Lawton. Subscribe and check us out online at thenewwarehouse.com.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you want more content from the New Warehouse, check out our new video series called All Hands on LinkedIn. Just search for the New Warehouse on LinkedIn and follow along.